Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back. Oh my goodness, is this back-to-back days with a YouTube stream? Are you kidding me? Is this for real, ladies and gentlemen? Chat, what's good? Hello. If you're here, say something. Make your presence be known. We have arrived again. Yeah, all these talks about ads, like, my bad, yo. I don't set that stuff. YouTube just does its own thing. If you don't like ads, I mean, first of all, get an ad block if you really want to. I never take that personally. Who likes ads? But option number 2, which is a much more awesome one, if you ask me. You can become a member. You can also gift memberships to literally break the shackles off of these individuals who have been tied up by advertisements. When the goals are reached, the thing is said. Oh, we're talking about Desu? Nah, just giving that out for free today. We're feeling good, but we do have a goal today. Let me switch over so you guys can see the model. I'm awake. I'm alive. Hello, chat. Oh my goodness. There we go. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Is that how these things work? Look at all the new revlings. That's right, it works. Oh my goodness. Chat, we're popping off. Chat, we're popping off. Hold on, let me just grab something over here. Get things in motion. Look at all these people now freed from the shackles of having to watch ads on my stream. W gifted. W gifted. We gotta fix that transition state. I know, we keep forgetting, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it for sure. Alright, let me start getting to some of these donos and new memberships and gifted memberships and all that stuff. Number 1, you might have noticed that the super chat goal for today is at 20 of 5 bones or more. We already got 3. That's 15%, if I do the math correctly. The goal today, because we're talking about Asmongold, and I genuinely feel bad for what he's having to deal with today. And we're going to go through all of the situation involving him and Mythic and all of the side quests here today, all of the related ones. But if we hit that 20 on the super chat goal, we'll stand in solidarity with the Roach King by unlocking the Asmon Roaches. That's right. The Asmon Roaches. Oh, it's 7.5%. Oh my gosh, the math was not right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're completely... Wait, no, you're messing with me now. No. It was 3 out of 20. No, don't make me feel stupid, chat. I feel stupid enough. But anyways, let me read some of these. Okay? Number 1, right off the bats, Kurisu, with the $10 donation. 10 bones, ladies and gentlemen, saying Roach Rage. Yeah, there's a lot of Roach Rage today. You're scared of the roaches. Well, Straw, you might have to get used to it. You have to buckle in, because we're going to, I have a feeling, be pulling out some roaches soon enough. Then we got a 5 spot from Punman saying, did you hear about the fighter with a devil inside him? Don't worry, if the devil gets out, it can be suppressed with a jinn or two. Boom. Amazing. Thank you so much for the 5. Also, Classy Viking with the $2 donation saying, do you have a favorite plane? Yes. One that doesn't crashes when I'm on it. Correct. Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know any specific planes. Maybe a stealth bomber. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be neat. I like to fly around one of those black Doritos, you know, as they're called. Absolutely. Kerfy with the membership becoming a Revling. Congratulations. And No One becoming a Revling as well. And Drake with the 10 gifted membership. 10 gifted. Absolute Giga Chad move right there. 07s for you, Drake. 10 gifted memberships. Congrats to all those who got a membership. Very, very cool stuff. And then Quad Manny with the $10 donation as well. Saying, hello, Rev, opinion on nachos. Banger. Banger. The best is your typical putting some queso, some ground beef, some onions, and peppers. And maybe some hot sauce. Sour cream as well. There you go. Thank you for the 10, and also 10 from Free Range Furball saying Freedom Dorito. That's right. Everybody tough, everybody gangster, until a Freedom Dorito flies over their head and everything changes real quick. That's right. Sweet and sour sauce. Right, with sweet and sour sauce, guys. That's already 5 out of 20 super chats today to unlock Asmon Roaches. You'll love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have a streaming schedule? No. We just kind of go live nowadays, especially with YouTube. I don't know, like I didn't plan on going live today, but a lot has happened, and it's time to talk. It's time to get serious. Yep. Nachos. I mean, if you don't like nachos, I don't know what planet you're from. I have no clue. But I think I'm going to switch over here. We're about to get started. Yo, welcome in Patience Ferrith, becoming a Revling. That's very cool. And Kerfy actually upgrading. An upgrade from a Revling to a Giga Revling. That's pretty cool. Updating the tech and getting the rewards. Yes, and a B-boop. Yo, Rocket, what's good? Welcome in. Good to see you. Yo, and I like the Spike Man with $10 as well. 10 bones. Simply saying plonk. You know what? Couldn't have said it better myself. Say the word. All right, Desu. There you go, folks. I'm just giving it out for free at this point, right? Just giving it out for free. All right, let's switch over. We got a lot to talk about. I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Asmongold situation. As it stands, I think he's maybe talked about it a little bit on stream. I don't have any of that yet. We'll just have to wait for that to unfold, and I'm sure if there's any major updates, we will talk about it tomorrow. But I'm just going to cover things as it stands right now, which is a complete and utter mess. And it's not good at all. I'm going to explain why. All right, I think this is a bad look for Mythic. I think this is the beginning of the end for them as a company. I think it's bad for, well, any talents at Mythic right now for a lot of reasons. It's bad for even random content creators who work with other brands where this sort of thing will be used against them eventually. I think the only possible person winning is maybe Asmongold, but then again, he's going through this whole headache of a situation, so who knows at this point. It's all just a mess, but with context, you can make your own decision. Another upgraded membership from Texan Rider, howdy, up to a Giga Revling, and Cosmos becoming a Revling as well. Thank you guys for the memberships. Is it unpopular to say the Hassan orbiters are more cancer than Hassan himself? I mean, they're pretty insufferable. I think that's a fair opinion. I think it's an underrated one. I think they're kind of equal, but they get kind of overshadowed by what he's doing. Mythic is doomed without Asmon. I think they're in a very tough spot. Could you not associate Grimmi with Caseytron? They're not associated at all. No. No, it's totally different, especially, there is no association between the two whatsoever. Why are the glasses so small? What are you talking about, Sheezy? Are you literally... You know, I'm getting a little tired of reminding you guys that you keep hitting your heads over again. You keep forgetting about things. Is it really on me to keep reminding you guys that you keep forgetting about the size of the glasses? I don't know. All right. Well, I think we're pretty much ready to jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, Mythic Talent is not a VTuber agency. It's not something as hands-on as that. They're pretty much a middleman for sponsorships. They kind of just work with content creators. They find them sponsorships, and for the effort of communicating and also finding these opportunities, well, they take a cut. I mean, pretty standard stuff, right? And Asmongold is a co-founder of Mythic Talent. You can see his video from 3 years ago talking about literally creating Mythic Talent. Like, it was a big deal back then. And even he opened the video saying, like, hey, it's not really for you, the viewers, because you guys aren't streamers, but this is for streamers out there. If you're looking for more opportunities, come check out this company, right? And rank 1 top parsing Asmongold hater, Caseytron, recently started a harassment campaign against Asmongold, Mythic Talent, and anyone that works with them. Now, this isn't just your regular case of Asmongold derangement syndrome. Caseytron has it terminal, okay? Like, it is completely infected her mind. It is the focus of everything going on in her life. Any sort of virtue signaling she's doing, it's not to accomplish some sort of a social justice goal or anything like that. It's to get one over on Asmongold. Okay, I think it's really that simple, and it's reflected in this post. She made this, let's see, what was it, the 1st? Yeah, the 1st of this month, so exactly a week ago, giving out a list of all the brands and creators that are partnered with Asmongold's talent agency, Mythic Talent, showing a list of the creators, obviously providing this link, and it shows all the creators, including some who have either recently or even left some time ago. And it comes as absolutely no surprise that people included on this list would get harassed. And the sort of goal of this entire campaign is not, again, about achieving some goal that makes the world a safer place. It's about screwing over Asmongold. Okay? And Caseytron, for those who don't know, also settled with Ethan Klein on the copyright infringement lawsuit. So this was a clip from one of her recent streams where you kind of get the very clear impression of why she's doing this entire endeavor.
No, But no, like, what I find, like, the most disturbing now is, like, these people who are still affiliated with him. You know, it's like, why are there people still on his talent agency? Why is his talent agency have all these sponsors when every other day he's advocating for people to be murdered in the streets? Like, every day he's literally advocating for some other minority group to be killed by the police. You know, him and XQC are laughing about Renee Good being fucking shot. They're like laughing and hee-hawing about it. It's like, why does Asmongold have a talent agency that has so many fucking people on it? And why is it sponsored by so many? Like, that's like the point that I'm at now. Like, who are the people that we're seeing pictured with Asmongold within the last 6 months? Have they answered for it?
So you can see, it's not just like, oh, I have an issue with values the company stands for. No, it's just, I don't like Asmongold. I'm going to exaggerate his claims, and I'm going to say these outrageous things about him to get an emotional response out of you guys, wrap it up and masquerade it as some moral good to go after him, and not just him, but anyone who works with the company he co-founded, which is simply just a middleman to find sponsorships, and you have to answer for it. I mean, that's the thing, too. She wants them to answer for their association with Mythic Talent. And she said directly in many tweets, but she had many replies like this, saying his views are extremely harmful. They're extremists. They're alt-right viewpoints, white supremacy, stuff like that. And if you don't, as a Mythic Talent partner, either leave or openly disavow Asmongold, you share the same beliefs that she attached to Asmongold. Even if it's not his actual beliefs, it's what Casey Tron and people like her decide are the beliefs. It's absolutely unfair, and I think it comes as zero surprise that in the replies to that call-out post, people are calling random apolitical Mythic Talents like this Hitler Youth racists, which seems totally ridiculous and unfair, obviously. And a lot of people at Mythic, who work at Mythic, are being harassed over and over. And of course, some people would capitulate. Some people announced their departure from Mythic. Some people made it clear that they've already left at some point, either during or before all of this, because I guess they wanted to protect themselves. But there was an interesting little twist to all this. A former Mythic Talent creator named Grimmi, a VTuber, would come out and make some claims. Now, like I said, she was with Mythic. They just announced that she joined in literally a year ago, almost to the day, in March of 2025. And she came out on a recent stream and talked about some issues with the company, which I covered in a video, but let's just listen to a part of it to get an idea. There's a very vague sense that something isn't going right with the company.
Say anything about it, talk about it, and I'm specifically not going to say anything about it. That's pretty much it. I wasn't hype about it. I'm not going to tell anyone about it. It was a little silly. On your About page, Twitch? Okay, I'll change that right now. Thank you for letting me know. This isn't like a thing where it's just like, oh, Grimmi got upset. This was quite substantial. But on the other hand, I don't really want to, like, cause any problems for anyone there.
So that was my issue. I see people saying, like, vague posting and stuff like that. That was my sort of coverage the other day. I was like, you can't be saying it's, like, silly on the one hand and then say it's serious on the other. And let's just keep listening.
I don't know how on earth... I don't know. Pretty much all I'll say is that was... there was something very, very crazy. I think people would be pretty upset about it if they do. And that's pretty much all I can say. I think everyone would be pissed, but I am not going to talk about it. And if I hear any rumors spreading about why I left, where they're trying to frame me negatively, I will talk about it. And I will tell everyone exactly what it was.
Now that's important, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot to bring this up in the video I made for today. It's a small point, but she said she'd only bring out more if there was some sort of negative framing by Mythic about her, but that didn't seem to happen. But she still released some screenshots, but we'll look at the screenshots in just a second, okay?
I was really, really, really upset. And I think everyone would have been, like, universally there. So, alright. Not on a personal level for them. Not just me, on a personal level individually. But anyways, we're moving on. I would have been upset too if you knew. If you knew. But Grimmi got receipts. I do actually. I have proof of something. But I'm gonna see if I can't. Well, I'm 50-50 on whether or not it's gonna become a legal matter or not. So
that's obviously pretty big, right? On the one hand, she's saying I don't want to talk about it. Then she's talking about it, and then saying people wouldn't. At first, she says it's kind of just silly, and then she goes and says, well, it's pretty substantial, and people would basically be on her side, and that if only you knew the context. It's just so many layers of vague posting. I don't like it. I can tell you guys don't like it, and we would get some clarification as to what's going on here, and that's what we're going to look at in just a second. But let me just read a couple of these guys right here. First of all, yo, thank you for the $2 saying Tectone defended Mythic. I mean, they let him go in a pretty, I guess, pretty cut and dry way when the whole, what do you call it, protection order was handed down. So the fact that he's defending Mythic is interesting. I'd have to see that, but BLXmas with the $5 donation saying, so Asmon co-founded Mythic, but is part of Night Media, and we will talk about that. That's really important. The people virtue signaling about this stuff, not one of them seems to have an issue with Night Media, which works with both Asmongold and Hassan Piker. Very interesting. And Borowski with the 288s as that comes out. Thank you very much for the clarification, saying make asylums open again. You have no idea whatsoever, but I appreciate that very much. We're now up to 9 out of 20 super chats towards the goal for today to unlock the Asmon Roach. Is 45%. The math checks out to me, ladies and gentlemen. Very close to glory. Thank you for your super thanks. But as I said in my previous video, I did not like the vague posting, but things were looking not too great still at the same time, right? There was a lot brewing and nothing was being diffused on social media. So here's where things get interesting. Someone made a summary of a stream where Grimmi came out and shared some screenshots. It's going to be hard for you guys to see. They're very kind of low, grainy type thing. But to really sum up what we're looking at here, we're looking at two different transactions. There was one that was around 2,000 and one that was around 4,000, where Mythic was negotiating a sponsorship and being the middleman for her. The issue with Grimmi here is that she's claiming that they skimmed off the top, which means if she is telling the truth or understands everything, that a company approached her. They want to work with her as a Mythic Talent. Mythic, through their representatives, contacts whatever advertiser, and they say, we want to pay, let's say, $5,000. But instead of approaching Grimmi with a $5,000 offer, they skimmed off the top, took some of the money out of that $5,000, and then worked on a percentage fee for their services based on that lowered amount. If what she's saying is true, and her interpretation is true, that would look really bad for them. Also, you can't see it because it's small, but I can see this communication from someone at Mythic, and this drives me crazy. Maybe I'm like an absolute seething boomer, like, freak over here. But please understand, if you're going to work in a company and you're negotiating on contracts and working through contracts for thousands of dollars for the parties, can you please try to act professional? Can you please use punctuation? They start every sentence with a lowercase beginning letter, and they're short forming words like obviously to obvi and stuff like that. It annoys me so much. Like, absolutely drives me insane. I'm very sorry. Perhaps I'm boomer, but like, for real, try to look professional. Like, when people are typing like this when dealing with thousands of dollars, I can see where they get sloppy. Right? I can see where something would get sloppy. I hate when people do that. I think it's like, maybe it's like a VTuber thing. Like, they don't take VTubers as seriously, so they're not as professional. I don't know. But I see this happen way too much. Everyone points this out. Yeah, it drives me crazy. What does this mean for Chibidoki? I mean, whatever she wants it to mean. If I was in Mythic right now, the only thing I would begin with is checking over what I've done, my contracts, and see if everything is legit. And I would try to ask for copies of everything. Because Grimmi, according to her, reached out to the company, the sponsor itself, and got a different figure than what she was given by Mythic before they took their cut. It was higher. So she's wondering where the money went. That's her claim, that they were skimming off the top. They took some money out of the offer and gave her a percentage based on a lower number than the sponsor initially gave. That is her claim. Now, here's my thing, okay? With Grimmi. I talked about the vague posting the other day. It seems like she's provided some receipts. This is my thing, okay? I don't think she's being malicious. I really don't. I think even if she is wrong, even if she is wrong with this, at worst, she misunderstood a very disorganized set of communication between her and Mythic. A very confusing set of communication. I think at the very least, that's like the worst case scenario for her. But if she's right, man, does Mythic look bad. Because trimming off the top like that, or what do they call it? I guess trimming off the top. That's pretty bad. That's super greedy and dishonest. And that's where, yeah, she said legal. Like, at the end of the day, I think the difference she is talking about is like $500. But still, to have all this controversy over $500, that would be incredibly bad for Mythic. She deserves, if she was deserved that, she deserves it. But yeah, let me read these couple of thingamabobbers here. Let me hear what you guys think about that sort of thing with Grimmi here. Like, what do you think, honestly? But welcome in, Giga Reveling, the Dude, $17.99. Welcome in, welcome in. Yo, and Devastaire with the $10 donation saying, thank you for looking into this rev. I have my reasons. Well, it's my pleasure to look into all these things, and thank you for the 10. Much appreciated. And then Gary Coleman with the 5 saying, Munya. Keep it up. Very based donation right there. Yo, what's up, Jesus Freak? I'll catch the recording later. Yo, no worries, dude. We'll also have a more organized video for YouTube later as well. If they are taking money from you, don't vague post about it. Go to legal. Yeah, it's just more of a matter of like, does she want to go to court over $500? Is it going to be worth all of those costs and stress? Oh, it's just a very messy situation, guys. No matter what the answer is. Unfortunately. If this caused Mythic's biggest talents to walk out on them, then Mythic is going to collapse as fast as VShojo. Yeah. I think it's not looking good at all. Because if they realized she went to court, she would win. I don't know. As we'll see, we'll read the message from Mythic. They make it pretty clear that it's in her court. But let's get over to the big announcement, right? This is what people are talking about the most. For better or for worse. Here is the official announcement from Mythic, saying, we have spoken with Asmongold and mutually agreed to part ways. Mythic represents creators from a wide range of backgrounds and perspectives, and we are committed to fostering an environment grounded in respect and responsibility. We remain focused on supporting our creators and continuing our mission to help them build sustainable long-term careers. Now, a lot of people have issue with the way that's worded, right? They're saying like, oh yeah, sure, you accept a wide range of backgrounds and perspectives while parting with Asmon, seemingly over, well, different perspectives, right? They are mutually walking away. Now, of course, people will talk about the timing. They will try to... People will defend this saying like, oh, this was in the works. Well, even if Asmon and Mythic were planning on parting ways, even mutually, and it's been in the works for a while, this looks really bad because of timing. It looks like it was made along the same current timeline of the harassment campaign and the trimming off the top, allegations, all that stuff. It just doesn't look good, right? And it's very vague. You know, we're adding a vague post on top of a vague situation because this feels very vague to me. It does feel very vague to me right now. This will hurt them in the end. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Asmongold made this company. Like, not just literally, but like his name made people come to Mythic. So him leaving, I mean, I know people who probably were only there because of his involvement with Mythic, even if it was more of just a founding role and just having his name on it because they like Asmongold or they respect his brand. They know his brand is worth something. But of course, oof. You can't do this. What are these PR people doing? You cannot make these big announcements, these controversial ones, and lock the replies. This never ends well, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it was, I tried to find it. I know this happened somewhat recently where I know it was Asmongold. He said something in response to someone asking why people lock replies on Twitter threads. And he said it's because they're cowards. And that's exactly what's going on here. It's just a bunch of, it's just a way of avoiding any direct engagement. Doesn't look good. But, people are quick to point that out. You automatically admit you're in the wrong when you turn off replies. Foolproof distinction. Asmon did nothing wrong. Here's the problem. I am like many people, and I know many people are like this. When someone like him parts ways with a company, there's got to be a real reason. It's not just some vague virtue signal post. Is there something specific? Well, I guess it's up to anyone's imagination now. And that's the problem. That's the problem with vague posting. I wonder if Asmongold will make a video on his channel about this. I'm sure he will eventually just to get people to stop asking. I believe that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people are going to ask. I saw a small clip, like he brought up something about it. I don't know how much he's gotten in depth about it today, but he is somewhat recognizing what's going on. I mean, I feel like he's going to have to at some point. Electric Dog. Electric Dog. I love how that's now synonymous. That's pretty funny. But here is a comment that represents many reactions. They bent the knee. Yikes. This likely happened because Asmongold refuses to censor himself. He remains unfiltered, and companies view this as a brand risk. Reminder to work with most companies you have to censor yourself or be removed. Well, guys, do you guys understand why I might agree with this last part here, given recent circumstances? Yeah, it is becoming increasingly true that if you want to keep working with a lot of these brands, you either have to censor yourself or you're going to get kicked eventually. That's just the way it is. Right Messenger, he isn't. No, Chibi Reviews is not wrong at all. What happened with, let's just say, some people and opportunities they've lost is, yeah, it comes down to, are you going to absolutely cripple anything you're going to say because you're afraid you're going to get kicked from your company, or are you going to just get removed? In many cases, saying things that got you your partnerships in the first place. I'm not lying when I'm saying we're going back to 2020, ladies and gentlemen. That is the trend right now. We are heading back towards 2020 censorship. Absolutely. People have applied pressure to multiple companies, and it's worked. And now they basically got the big dog. To many. They believe that they bent the knee. And again, with vague posting, people are making their own conclusions. They are looking at what happened, the timing of everything, and they think that Mythic Talent bent the knee and came to some agreement with Asmongold to part ways. That is it. And it doesn't look good. It's a fair question, a fair point, a fair conclusion to make based on everything that has happened. What happened? Rev Light's B2 Bombers, and we're talking about Mythic and Asmon. You basically summed up the stream so far. Well said. Thank you for the $10 donation. Ibuki Enjoyer, thanks for the continued support, saying, I just woke up after 12 hours. What did I miss? Well, you were just filled in. Yeah, we're just talking about the Asmongold situation right here. And also, ZOMG, it's Gabe with the $5 as well, saying Asmongold should sue Caseytron for defamation and not have mercy like Ethan. He needs to bring the hammer down on this idiot. She belongs in jail. Now, the thing is, I think there's a lot here. People have brought up not just defamation, but also tortious interference with a contract. She is basically trying to get people to leave Mythic, and he has a co-founding role. She is trying to meddle in their business and to get people to essentially leave and hurt the company and hurt the people who are financially invested. So that is another route. I'm not going to, be the one to go into this deep. I don't just hope, I know it's going to happen. I'm sure Legal Mindset or someone like him will look into this and they will give a deeper analysis. But a lot of people look at it like that. Like, she is not only, Caseytron's the same person who was reposting tweets that were essentially accusing Asmongold of killing his own mother. That's the type of stuff we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. That's how deranged all of this goes. But we'll get into the rest of this in a second. Let me read a couple more of these donations. Delarky with the 5 saying, I'm sure Asmon left to try and minimize damage to the talent. Asmon doesn't need the money. They do. I'm sure he'll make a video eventually. I agree entirely. I think he will make a video. He doesn't need the money. In fact, he probably received money, and he might have been bought out. And also, some people are myself included, are speculating as to what it even means for him to part ways. Does he still have an investment in the company? Is he still in a founding role? Is he still financially tied? We don't know, because everything's so vague right now. But I can see him leaving to try to minimize the damage to the other talents, but unfortunately, I think the opposite is going to happen. I think this is going to be weaponized, as we'll see in just a second. It's going to be weaponized against current talents, the existing talents who have stayed behind. They're going to be harassed now. But whoa, Drake with the $50 donation. Can we get some 07s in the chat for an absolute mad lad? Right here saying, I myself am a part-time streamer and one of my goals or dreams, you could say, was to get signed by Mythic. I could actually get big enough. If I could actually get big enough for them, now not so much. I want to know that any company I'm working with or for has my back. Yeah, again, 07, thank you very much for the gigantic $50 donation. And yes, dude, I can say the exact same thing. Let me pull up the tab. Straub tweeted about this. For those who don't know, this is my wife, okay? She does the communications behind the scenes, okay? That's no secret. Anyone who's familiar with the channel knows this. But she made a tweet sharing DMs she had with members of Mythic. We applied back in 2024. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, especially even given the time, this is my personal opinion from looking around at the talents and the level of popularity and traction some of the people have in the organization, the kind of people they work with, you know? Someone like me, and I also believe Straub as well, should have just been like a shoo-in. Like, it should have just been simple, like, oh, good, great, that would be a good fit. Like, I don't see why we wouldn't have fit. And if you want to go down the route of like, oh, you're controversial, blah, 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 like, you could go back to Asmongold being a co-founder, and you have plenty of content creators who are far edgier than me who have been working with Mythic for years. And we basically just got ghosted. Like, we applied, but we were in contact in DMs with someone from Mythic, and you can see there's a chain of conversations where everything's polite, whatever, but like there's month-plus long gaps between their messages. It was just very, very dismissive. And they're talking about going on a trip. I mean, like, this all started, the conversation, in what? September. Early September of 2024. Fast forward to December of 2024. We haven't even gotten, like, past the first hurdle. We're still just trying to, like, get an answer of, like, are they gonna, like, review our application? And then eventually Straub did what I think is the professional and good thing. She just said, hey, like, it's been months, and after much consideration, both Rev and I have decided to respectfully withdraw our interest from joining Mythic Talent. Unfortunately, due to a prolonged delay in receiving the necessary information and the lack of follow-up discussing the next steps, we no longer feel like moving forward would be the best decision for us. We hope you understand. Thank you. I mean, like, you can't talk for, like, 4 or 5 months and not even get anything in place. Like, we just said, okay, if this is how you're communicating now, like, yeah, I don't know. And looking back, like, I wouldn't want to be in Mythic right now. Goodness, we would be getting harassed. Guys, imagine right now, the guy in the DM is a nobody, by the way, is not a nobody, very high up in the company. Well, that just makes it worse. But what I was saying is, I was going to ask you guys, and fill me in the chat, who knows here, if we were in Mythic right now, what do you think people would be doing on social media? All these people who were demanding some action from Asmongold, or people leave because of him, are now targeting other content creators who have been left behind. What do you think they'd be doing to us if we were working with Mythic right now? Do you think they would just ignore us? Or do you think they'd be making 1,000 call-out posts demanding that we're removed next? And we'd be dealing with another barrage of harassment and people trying to basically financially ruin us. You can tell me. guys. You can tell me. But let me read this right here. Yeah, we are 17 out of 20 super chat goal. We'll stand in unity with Asmongold by attaching some Asmon roaches. Just 3 more super chats of 5 or up, guys. I believe. Let's read some more. Oxtaku with the 5 saying, wasn't just Asmongold, it was Nuxtaku and Nicholas Light as well. As it seems. Looks like Vienna and Grimmi were right after all. I think they deserve an apology. I think... What? Oh, it's very pretty.
I'm going to show you my new dress. And I heard you were talking
Straub
about
has a new dress. She looks very pretty.
It's my Easter dress.
Easter dress. Very cool.
Hi, Jack.
But, yeah, I think, like, Vienna... Nobody really attacked Vienna for leaving. It was just the timing that people were like, well, is it because of that? No, but... Grimmi, I mean, she vague posted, and now it's really, I guess it's in her court to keep going with this. I didn't see that Nuxtaku left. Did Nuxtaku get axed too? Let me look this up. Unless I'm just, I whiffed on this whole thing. Then again, does he even use Twitter anymore? No, he doesn't. Ah, whatever. Close enough. Yeah? Oof. Goodness gracious. That's not good. You know, you hate to see, like, you know, it's the same thing with Advanced. Like, it's like a company works with you forever and has no issue with anything you're doing until they have an issue with what you're doing. And it's only because of public outrage. Does Straub say Desu? I think so. I think so. Yamu with the 5 as well saying, when companies do this nonsense, doesn't it also make the companies in general look bad too? It shows weak leadership and it's frustrating. Exactly. It hurts the company the most. They look very disorganized. They look flip-floppy. And they look like they don't stand by their creators. Anna Valen's already using this to go after Kirsha. Wow. Color me shocked, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe this. That is shocking information. If we hit the goal, say Desu on the mic. No, you're supposed to say if we hit another goal. Oh, I'm not greed maxing. Dang it. Dang it, wife. Yo, Hex Render with the 10 saying thank you for your donation. Thank you for your donation. And Tanaki, welcome in. Thank you for becoming a member, a Revling. And finally, K1390 with the $20 07s in the chat. That's a pretty big donation right there. Thank you very much for the $20 donation saying, let's go. I'm not a greedy girl. Well, I'm a greedy goblin, ladies and gentlemen. But let me find back the place we were at here. We were looking at Chibi reviews, basically saying that they bent the knee. Okay, I think that's a fair conclusion. Then Craig makes a good point. Craig makes a good point, saying Asmongold didn't leave for nothing and most certainly was bought out. He was rich, now he's just richer. If he was bought out, Mythic will have to be very strategic with the expenses coming up, or they could be done as well. And the cold hard truth is that if Asmon wanted, he could just start over and see just as much success. Yeah, Truth Nuke from Craig over at Side Scrollers, a podcast I go on bi-weekly with Straub. I do think this is definitely a very real possibility that he was bought out. But also, we don't even know. I mean, maybe he's still in that sort of invested role. Does he still have a financial interest in the company? Is he still a co-founder? We don't know until we get some more information. But yeah, they're going to have to be very strategic with their expenses coming up because they're about to lose a lot. And from my understanding, from many different accounts, okay, not singling anyone out, from what I've heard, it was already slim pickings in terms of sponsorships. A lot of people at Mythic were not getting sponsors recently, and it was very thin. So, yeah, they're going to have to get real strategic coming up. How many dresses did you buy?
Couple.
It's very, very pretty blue dress. All right, give the people what they want. We hit the goal.
Okay. You hit your goal too? Desu.
There you have it, folks. There you have it, a Desu from the waifu.
Yeah, I went shopping.
Well, you look very nice. Did good.
Thanks. Bye, guys. Put your roaches on. Roach.
Yes, I gotta put my roaches on. Let me just read the donos here. But the last thing before I comply with your super chat goal being met here, guys. You'll enjoy it. This part right here is definitely true. If Asmongold wants to start up a new company, he will. And he will succeed. Asmongold is a brand of himself. Okay? Anything he creates will succeed. At least initially. And when he is removed from a company, it's not going to succeed. He is the brand. So whether he's there or not, the success hinges upon it. Rev, how many dresses did you buy, Straub? Yes. Very true. She apparently went dress shopping. She did some internet shopping. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Okay, let me read some donos and we'll keep going because I hit the goal. We got to put the roaches on. Gabe with another 2 saying, Straub, Seidesu, you got it. You got it right there. Lucas with the 5 saying goal achieved. Correct. Very correct. Okay, it is Roach time, guys. Let's stand in solidarity with the Roach King here. I'm just like Asmon. I'm infested with roaches. Guys, I mean, don't knock it until you tried it. I feel empowered. I feel empowered. Alright, I got one more roach ready to go. Where do you guys want the roach? Do you want it on the head? Another one on the shirts? Roach says Desu. I bought 4 dresses, I think. My goodness. My goodness. Yo, and Sleep with a €10 donation saying, I've had this account for 9 years and during the whole advanced situation was the first time I sent money through YouTube, like DJ Khaled would say. There you go, dude. Thank you so much for the €10. Absolutely based. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate that. And then, what do we got here? $2 from Obi-Wan Cannoli. Got me thinking about cannolis. Isn't Hassan a part of Mythic? No. Hassan is a part of Night Media, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Head? Everyone wants the head. A roach hat? My goodness. Okay. All right. I am a man of the people. I've been described by Straub as well as the people's champion. Let's put it right here, like a little bow. I feel pretty. I feel fabulous, chat. Look at me. The Asmon roaches have been unleashed. We are standing in solidarity. Roaches together, strong. Why not roach bows? Maybe next time. Maybe next Asmon drama. And Epsilon Sama with $10 as well, saying here's so you can get Straub another dress. Also, I saw Asmongold statement, and it feels like Craig might be correct due to Asmongold not throwing shade at Mythic. It felt like an NDA was signed at least. Yeah, that seems like the most logical thing, was that there was some kind of a buyout, or he's staying in some capacity financially, who knows. So tomorrow, yeah, probably tomorrow, because let's be real, there's probably going to be a lot of updates for tomorrow, but yeah. Do you feel bonita? I do, chat. Thank you. Thanks for making this work. And then Ren with a 2 Canadian bucks saying, long time fan. Keep up the good work, fam. Thank you very much. And did you intend for that to rhyme? It doesn't matter, it did. Thank you. And Delarky with the $2 saying Rev Straub Gamer Subs when. Let's just say, we're working on some stuff. We're not rushing into anything, and we're just trying to find a new place for that sort of stuff. But thank you for the 2. But let's move on to a post by Savvy, Madam Savvy. Always dunking on people on Twitter. Saying, fascinating given the timing. Very fascinating that we're doing guilt by association in 2026. Very, very fascinating. This comes after a fat little piggy who recently settled out of court put what looks like a harassment call to Mythic. Very, very, very fascinating that fat little piggy did not put out a harassment call to the agencies that represent both Asmon and Hassan. Now that's a very funny way of describing her. That would get you a 2-week ban on Twitch, last time I checked. But that is a fair point, and something I brought up in my last video about this. What about Night Media? Now, for those who are like, what is Night Media? Well, it's pretty reasonable to not know who they are. They're not like some big public company. For those who don't know, Night Media is literally what Mythic Talent is. They're just a talent management group who finds sponsorships and financial opportunities for streamers. That's literally what Mythic Talent does. Except, right here, Night Media is very exclusive with who they work with. They don't work with a lot of people. And can you guess 2 of the people they work with at Night Media? Asmongold and Hassan Piker. Not a single person out there. No Caseytron, no Hassan Orbiter, no Asmongold hater. Nobody is calling on Night Media to drop Asmon or to have other creators leave because of the attachment to Asmon. Why, you ask? Well, it's obvious. They have a bias, and they're protecting their agenda, and they don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's not about doing anything that's the right thing. It's not about that. It's about winning. And seeing Caseytron's quote of the Mythic Talent announcement, it makes sense. They knew my behind wasn't gonna let up. But in all seriousness, that man should not be representing anyone. It's all about getting one over on Asmongold. This is not about making a wrong right. This is not about helping content creators. This is about a vendetta against Asmongold in wanting to see him suffer. And they will use people like pawns and put them in the middle of this war, get them harassed by association with Mythic, just to win. These people are disgusting. And realize, read this first thing. They knew I wasn't going to let up. So basically she's saying I bullied them into making this decision. And I wasn't going to stop. It's crazy. Just admits it. I like how she says, but in all seriousness, no. This was serious. This is exactly what you're doing. Ethan Klein went too easy on her. That's right. Absolutely. And then she goes on to add, that man should not be representing anyone. Do you think they're going to stop with Mythic Talent? Do you think that's where it's going to end? Absolutely not. They're going to go after everything he's associated with. And I guarantee you, it's going to be the loosest of connections. Isn't this just lawsuit fuel? If he wants it to be. I mean, if there's been someone literally asking for a lawsuit, it is Caseytron. And she can have all this bravado that she wants on Twitter. She had that same bravado with Ethan Klein, where she was going to fight the lawsuit to the end and win, just to settle and make a public apology admitting that she committed copyright infringement and apologized to Ethan Klein and Gila Klein. for her comments, and also mentioned that Hassan Piker essentially left her out to dry and did not support her at all during the process. Interesting. But we got a very good point here. Lethal Weeaboo with the 5 saying, they are media. At night. Very. Of course. What are you doing? You're like a phantom. She's literally hiding behind a pillar. I hear a little giggle behind me. Come here, woman.
I was waiting until you were looking at the donuts.
Oh my goodness. How long were you standing there?
Just a minute.
Just a minute? Oh my
The
goodness.
door a little longer.
But anyways.
Is this too much?
Absolutely not. I know what you're thinking of wearing it to.
Yeah.
And I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, for the first night.
Yes. Straub is a ninja. Literally, like, I hear a little hee-hee. I turn around and I see a head, like, peeking around a pillar.
I was trying to be quiet while you were talking about this stuff. I was
My
waiting until you got to
goodness.
your donos, because I know you like to have clips.
Well, here's one involving you. From B-Wood, with the 5 saying, I do believe Strawbee is trying to distract you during this stream by showing off her cute dress. This was not scripted. This was not scripted, by the way. I didn't read that message before I played it. Insane. Absolutely insane.
This is the last one. The other one was the one you saw the other day.
This is it. This is it, guys.
That was it.
I'll be able to focus up for real. Thank you, Inspector, with the $5 saying, when a celebrity, public figure, YouTuber, streamer has their comments locked, they have something to hide and not to be trusted. Rarely any exceptions. I 100% agree. Very rare that they're doing that in some sort of a honest and open way. There's a reason for it. And also thank you for another 5 saying, hi Rev, love your content. How did you meet your wife? Do you have a wholesome story? Rare to see a family that follows God in this space. All right, guys, I'll take a 1 minute detour, okay? 1 minute detour. Let's make the screen. You can see my roaches better, okay? You can see the roaches better. For those who don't know how we met, I've explained it before, but maybe you're new or you haven't seen streams before. So we met on Twitter. She actually replied to one of my tweets about 6 years ago almost. A little snarky. She was like disagreeing with me. And I was like, who is this girl? And I clicked on her profile and she had some cute selfies and I'm like, I'm gonna reply now. I'm gonna riz. And she deleted it. She got scared. She got nervous. She had deleted her reply. But eventually I followed her back and she DM'd me, of course, praising me for, how much of a great content creator I am and how cool and awesome I am. She said she was my #1 fan. And the DMs actually really did start off with, though, because she hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. And instead of doing what a lot of people around me would do when they'd hit 1,000 followers, particularly women, who would normally like post their ass or their feet or something degenerate when they hit 1,000 followers, Straub posted a cake with the writing on it, thank you for the 1,000 followers. And I messaged her and I was like, that's very wholesome. That's very cute. Cool. Right? And that's really how the ball got rolling. We were friends for many months. We were in different relationships at the time, and eventually both of ours didn't work out. Then we started talking, and we were in Discord chats for like 5 hours a day. I don't like talking to nobody, so that was a pretty big deal for me. I was watching all kinds of shows. I would have bullied myself for watching with her in the past. Yeah, she was not even a VTuber. She was just an e-girl at the time. Like, my goodness. But we did this for a couple months, and then I drove 14 hours to go see her in real life. First time I've ever done that. And I stayed for like 2 weeks. It was magical, ladies and gentlemen. And then we moved in together about 6 months later. And then we got married in 2023, and here we are. Here we are, guys. It's going to be almost 6 years we've been together. So it is wholesome. It is wholesome, Chungus. What made Straub want to become a VTuber? Just cuz. She wanted to be one. She was a VTuber before me. I copied her. Let me get this last dono. So that's a quick version of the story. Ren also saying Asmon should sue. She ain't got no money. True. I mean, after all of this, how much money does she really have left to sue for? It's a good question. Legitimate one. But look at some of the responses, right? The whole point is this isn't about doing the right thing. This was about winning and having a vendetta against Asmon. Even some of the people who are glazing up Caseytron are admitting in replies here that basically this doesn't even impact him. Like, it might actually benefit him. He might financially benefit from being bought out or still having a financial interest. He doesn't lose in the situation, but to them, it was good enough. And I think this whole win or lose attitude, love you too, is highlighted by Mike from PA, an infamous Hassan orbiter who said, it's true, Caseytron defeated Asmongold. No, it's not. Caseytron helped the right thing happen. Caseytron made a good in the world. Caseytron helped creators. No, it's Caseytron defeated Asmongold. That tells you everything you need to know about the motivations of these people. And Mike from PA is an infamous Hassan orbiter. It's the same guy who has threatened content creators, who has put bounties on content creators' heads. He's the one who infamously, based on a completely illiterate examination of a Google search, believed and told his audience they have the right as US citizens to make a citizen's arrest of anyone supporting Israel. He was telling his viewers to go out there and start arresting people for supporting Israel. Making citizens arrests. This guy, this big-brained, giga-brained individual. Unreal. But every single time.
That's fine.
Hold on. Every time Mike from PA comes up, I have to play this clip. I am legally and morally obligated to show you the kind of Adonis, the kind of Riz Meinster, the Rizzler this guy is. This is Mike from PA trying to talk to a woman.
That's fine. I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Not this clip. You're dang right. This is my favorite.
Your attention.
This is one of my favorite images on the internet. Basically, anytime this guy ever says anything on the internet and tries to act hard, someone just posts a screenshot of this. Absolute Sigma. Absolute Sigma. What a guy. This can't be real. It's very real, guys. It's very, very real. I regret to inform you. But, hey. Let's check out the new audience for Mythic Talent. Every time with these companies, someone loses their position or leaves, and it's controversial, and there's these new standards being created, you gotta look at the people who are happy about it. Not just content creators, but average Joes. A potential viewer base for this company. Here's someone happy about it, showing a heart and a little face holding back tears. They're very happy about this announcement. Let's see the average person, potential customer of Mythic in this situation. Accounts like Mail Slayer, who is an anti-capitalist misandrist. Well, that's awesome. I'd be really stoked if I was Mythic Talent and the people cheering me on are anti-capitalists. People who don't even like the idea of my company existing in the first place. Those are the people happy about my choices. Absolutely incredible stuff. Truly, truly, this is a fate they deserve. This is who they deserve right now. They deserve people like this. Let me read off a couple of these. Yo, Faint Smile, what's good? Welcome back. Saying, I low-key feel like this is the slow play to truly quantify damages when he sues her later. Dang, dude. That's actually, that's pretty giga-brained right there. I'm not gonna lie, that is what some people think with these sorts of things. You just let them keep speaking. You let them just keep adding on to what you can actually sue them for. You let them just keep ripping and ripping and ripping forever. Absolutely. And then welcome in a new Revling, that fake guy, and finally Ren with the 2 Canadian bucks saying, is he gonna citizens arrest the government? That's a fair point right there. That's a fair point. But let's move on here for a second. Guys, people are trying to take advantage of this in ways I've never seen before. Okay? In ways I've never seen before. This VTuber is trying to virtue signal while also shooting their shot with the company. Okay? This is crazy. Alright? They say, I'm glad they are parting ways. This stuff with him has gone on long enough, and it's not fair to everyone, especially those who are a part of the company. I always wanted to be represented by them before I knew he was a part of the company. Maybe this will change things for the better. Oh, come on now. I've seen this one before, okay? The person who virtue signals about how bad a company is while shooting their shot with the same company because they removed bad person. Right. Of course, guys. Yeah, of course. This is so shameless. Literally shooting their shot while virtue signaling to get the sort of recognition they wanted. Absolutely crazy. But you know what? There are some spots open. Oh yeah, there's spots open. Maybe they can take a new spot. Nicholas Light. I'm sorry, that was a terrible whistle. I ain't whistling. It's not working. The whistle ain't whistling. But they gave him the boot. Nicholas Light is out of there. He says, while on vacation for my 1-year anniversary with my wife, Mythic Talent, my talent agency, has parted ways with me as well. Now, this is obviously something that was not made public. This was just private, and he's announcing it himself. But yeah, they axed at least him. I heard someone else say earlier that it sounds like Nux got the boot as well, which, if they're getting rid of people like Nicholas Light, I'm very sure they would get rid of people like Nux as well. So, yeah. That's not great. This got a lot of attention. And I really want to point this out, guys. Here's the really good thing about being in the community node system. Okay? You can see what's being proposed. Now, I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to let you guys predict. What do you think this proposed community note on this says? Someone is trying to provide context as to what's up with this post. What do we need to know more about this Nicholas Light person? What do you think it's about? Take your guesses. I'll give you like 10 seconds. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. Place your bet. Well, guys, the context is quite insane, actually. It is quite insane. Here it is. This is the beauty of being a part of the node system. Okay? You can see what people are saying. This is proposed, not confirmed, but proposed. Nicholas was dropped by Mythic for being openly transphobic. Oh, whoa! Whoa! That's a pretty bold claim. Not only are they saying that there is a reason provided by Mythic, they have a specific reason as to why Nicholas was dropped, and it's for being transphobic with a source. But wait, what is the source, ladies and gentlemen? That's absolutely... What is the faith? Or what is the reason here? This is the source. It's a tweet from today. It's a tweet from today. The proof that Mythic fired him for being transphobic is a tweet that he made after he was fired by Mythic. This is BS. This is literal BS in the proposed notes. This is an abuse of the system. And I'm glad there's someone saying no note needed. Abuse of the community notes. The reason for the drop is irrelevant. The post only states a fact about being dropped, which requires no correction or context. They're right on every regard. He didn't make any claim about why he was fired. He just said he's been fired. And this proof right here of the context needed to understand his tweet shows a tweet that happened after he was fired and had nothing to do with anything Mythic said. Also, a very gross thing to say about someone's marriage. Yes. Can't wait for your wife to part ways with you as well. Referring to Nicholas. I mean, what do you expect from Nyara at this point? This person, I mean, they're now on their second account. They tweet every waking moment of their existence, and they don't even have a blue check mark this time. They're just doing it for the love of the game. They're just engagement bait farming at this point. And just a truly vile person in every regard. Everyone knows this, but we'll see them pop up again in just a second. Because, guys, as I said earlier, there are other Mythic talents who are still here. Still here. What happens to them? Well, you can see Kirsha, a current Mythic talent, saying what the heck is going on. Yes, Smug Foxu, the Fox Lady. Okay, a lot of you guys enjoy Kirsha. But like, what the heck? Now what for her? And you know what's gonna happen. Munya! What's gonna happen with people like this? Are they just gonna be left alone? No. As we'll see from Nyara, they say, "You're next." A very ominous and threatening post, implying that they're gonna lose their sponsorship or lose an opportunity next. I mean, this is the same person who was gunning after Gamersups, joining in on that failed campaign against Kirsha some time ago. But have you guys ever read this book growing up? If you give a mouse a cookie, couldn't apply any greater to this situation. If you give these psychopaths on Twitter anything, they're going to use it. They're going to go a step further. Give them an inch, they take a mile. With Mythic, they're not going to stop the harassment against Asmongold. They're not going to stop the harassment against Mythic as a company. And they're certainly not going to stop the harassment and targeting of people who work with Mythic Talent, including the content creators. They're next. They're going to try this same thing on them. And it seems like Mythic's already taking care of some of these people preemptively. And now the ones who are still there, well, they're left high and dry. It's not a good look. And I wouldn't want to be in Mythic. Like I said earlier, me and Straub did apply. We got ghosted. And maybe that was for the best, because if I was in Mythic, if we were in Mythic right now, I can't imagine how many hundreds of posts would be being made right now asking for us to be removed, demanding that we get removed. Absolutely. right, let me read some donos while we have this image right here. Right? A reminder of where we're at. Okay? Removing Asmongold. That was the situation. Let me just read a couple of the messages here. Jomed with the 5 saying, would you describe your wife as a Proverbs 31 or Judge 4 kind of gal? Personally speaking, I think I'm going with Judge 4. What do we think, Straub? I'll let Straub answer from here, but thank you for the 5. That's my interpretation. And welcome in new Revling, William. Come on in, William. Well, actually, you upgraded. Oh, you upgraded the tech, dude. I try to be Proverbs 31. Well, I would agree with that as well. What do you mean, what? What do you mean, what? Do you even know those passages? Let me refresh my memory then, okay? Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Here, you got the sources. Bring the sources to me. Come on. I thought I did. Well, bring it over then. Bring the sources. I will revisit that in a second. But hold on. Let me keep reading these, okay? Welcome in another Giga Reveling. Jez. Thank you very much. Welcome in. You can say some context to both. Yeah, right. She's coming, guys. Hold on. And we got 5 Canadian bucks from Ren as well, saying, it's funny that the book has been referenced twice in the past week. Shoe on Head was the other. Yes, Shoe on Head reminded me of that book. And now I just can't forget it. I literally just can't forget. This just in, Mythic fires Asmongold. Mythic most affected. True. Yo, Malin with the 100 DOP. I pray that you will have 5 children in the future. Let it be done. The number has been made. Okay, Straub, what are we doing here?
Hold on, I was like running over here.
We're revisiting this donut. It's very important, okay? She's got the Bible. Hold on. Chat, this is very important.
Here's Proverbs 31.
Okay, read us Proverbs 31.
Okay, I can't read it.
Or at least summarize it, okay? We got a stream to do.
It's a wife of noble character.
Okay.
Who can find a more virtuous and capable wife? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, blah, blah, blah. She does all these good things because she's a good wife, and she makes her bedspreads, and she dresses in fine linen, and her husband is well known.
You were trying on dresses.
Blah, blah, blah. Yes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. Blah, blah. She carefully watches everything in her household and
like the
suffers.
blah, blah, blah with the word of God. And blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm just trying to paraphrase.
I can't use my phone right now. My phone is tracking my face.
Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last.
Alright, we're going to have to really sum this up quick.
But a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's just making me feel
now,
bad
Judge
for
4. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on.
I'm not familiar with the Judge one, but I did Google it, and I think it was something like a kind of aggressive or something. I don't know.
And blah, 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 and etc., etc.
You guys are making me feel
blah,
bad.
blah, blah.
Stop. Where is this in the Bible?
Oh my goodness.
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges.
I'm literally streaming. You didn't even come in prepared.
You're the one who told me to come in here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in.
You got 5, 4.
Well, all I know is I'm
3,
pretty sure that I would rather
2,
be the other one.
1. This is the MBT, the new VTuber
I
translation.
cannot find it. I want to be so real. Oh, yeah, well, you have Google right in front of you. Just look it up.
Well, there it is.
Showcasing God using unlikely leaders. Oh, talking about like Deborah.
Yes.
No, I don't think. I mean, I think I can be like a bit of a. I think God uses me.
How about
but
you can be
also-
both in your own ways?
Yeah, I'm unique.
You say
I'm my
31,
own
and you
person.
know what? Wife is always right, so she's more of a... To answer the question, and to return to our stream for crying out loud...
You're the one who made me come in here.
Well, I was... The only context I had, I was a little mixed up. Anyways,
I love you.
all I know is you're my wife.
Yeah. You better be nice to me.
Yes, chat. We're all nice to her.
I love you.
And I love you. And my
Need
headphones have...
anything?
I need some cool air. It is
You look
hot
sweaty.
in here. It's hot in here. When this computer starts running, it gets warm.
You need a new computer.
I know. But anyways, all right. Back to the
five children.
Back to the content.
We're gonna have more than 5 chat.
No, we're not.
We're gonna have
Back
10.
to the okay. Your wife is right. That's the best way to handle things. Wife is always right. You guys are adorable. I hope so. Say the line, Rev. Say the line. All right, let's get back to it, okay? We talked about the Asmongold's parting of ways and all the reaction to it, both positive, negative, what have you. Let's do this. Make it 20. Oh, guys, come on. 20 kids. That's, you know, we're going to need a lot more super chats if you think I'm going to be able to raise 20 children, okay? But here's a good question, okay? A lot of people have been wondering. Y'all not going to address the skimming money off of your partner's sponsorships. And Mythic would address this. Now, curiously this time, they left the replies open. Unlike the Asmongold post, which has not worked out well for them. They're just getting dunked on. But basically, they say that they're aware of these statements made by Grimmi and that the claims of skimming funds is not true and that she received her full payment and they have sent the relevant documentation over. And I've heard from someone that apparently she's made a response. Let me see if that happened. Let me see if that happened, because they're basically saying the ball's in your court. And she did respond. Oh my, it's a light novel. Okay. I will read it. This is breaking Rev News. Breaking Rev News. Breaking Rev News. So this is her response to Mythic. Saying, hey, this is the third explanation they've given about these issues. I don't have anything against them, but so far they've claimed for the same publisher negotiated with the same methods, it was a typo. They were agency fees. And now they're changing the story again and saying I was paid in full for the amount they never showed me, but there's various banking fees. So which is it? I believe at this point they're trying to get a statement out of I guess me first, so they don't have to confront the other information they gave me or how I talked about the situation. So here is mine. I don't want any money. I don't want any attention and would prefer to go back to streaming normally, so I'm on break, hoping for things to calm down and waiting for attention to dissipate, not trying to capitalize off of it like some people have claimed. My intention with saying this is letting other streamers at Mythic Talent know that they should request their full negotiation records for sponsorships. That being said, everyone I talked to at Mythic Management is very pleasant. I liked everyone I worked with. I don't wish them any ill. Please don't be harsh on them. Everyone there is a person with a life, and this is stressful to go through for them too. I do not know who is involved with this. But please do not paint me as stupid or attack me after you've continued to give me different explanations. Please do not act like I did not understand my contract. You're taking an additional random amount off the top before presenting it to the streamer and taking the agreed 20%. Why are there 3 explanations for this now? If you can't believe me, that's fine. But it also looks like this isn't an isolated incident when people talk directly to sponsors involved with Mythic. And here is the link. I think I know this tweet. Yep, another content creator came out and quoted Mythic saying they had a similar experience where they were straight up lied to about what a sponsor was offering, and it took them talking to the actual sponsor themselves to find this out, and that they weren't surprised by what Grimmi was claiming. But they end the statement by saying, I don't know who's responsible for this, but I hope it gets resolved for everyone. Nothing against anyone there. Hope they're all well. Well, this is interesting. Just another layer to this. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? We're getting very different stories here. She seems to be firmly planted in the fact that she believes they are skimming off the top. The Grimmi Reaper. Feels like it. It's another layer to all this. It's very odd to me to give well wishes to people that you think have stolen from you. I mean, I guess you can say she's trying to be like the bigger person. Right? Shoujo 2.0. They're going too easy on Mythic. They are on a cancellation campaign. Oh, wait, I caught a live. I thought I was watching pre-recorded. No, welcome in. We're live. Grimmi isn't backing down. Not surprised. Something's off, but I don't know what. The problem is we're not seeing, like... We're still not seeing whatever they sent her. So it's just confusing. I want it to be a mistake so that no one is actually hurt. You know, the thing is, too, like... I think there'd be a very different, like, tune if they said, you know what? Guys, okay. The PR master over here, me, I would say this. If I was Mythic, I would say, in response to all this, we on our side believe we had everything right. We think you made a miscalculation or you were misinformed and you thought you got cheated out of $500. We think we're right, but here's $500 anyways. Let's move on. I think that would have been better. Some people would say that's admitting fault, but I don't know. We're doing this all over $500. Now you have this reputation as someone who is skimming off the top. And I think they know she's not going to take them to court for $500. Mythic, welcome to Costco. I love you. Very true. But yeah, that is the update, I guess. She didn't respond, but it's just like... There's no receipts from both sides, really. There's very, very vague stuff, so I don't think either side has cleared anything publicly. It's just made things messier. But this was the post. Another person has said they had a similar experience, so it does corroborate a little bit. And I like this quote. It's a little blunt, but it says, the plot thickens. Either Mythic is full of crap, or Grimmi is just dumb and doesn't understand contracts. That's what I said earlier. I don't think Grimmi has any ill will no matter what. I think it either boils down to she got it wrong, and she miscalculated some things, or she's right, and they're skimming these contracts off the top, which is really bad. One seems like a genuine mistake, the other does not at this point. So, basically, thanks Azahara for the contribution. But basically, this was the summation here that I think a lot of people can't agree with. Talent's leaving Mythic silently. Grimmi comes out with her account of sponsorship cuts. Gets a majority payment out of a sponsor while Mythic gets a cut for negotiating. Grimmi later calls sponsor and finds out that the real offer was higher. Mythic skimmed extra without saying stuff, and they took more than she agreed, 20%. She alleges black company behavior and tells other talents to demand their own sponsor docs. When confronting Mythic, gets oops typo, and they refuse to show the next sponsor contract. Next day, Asmongold dips and Mythic drops a PR tweet for their sponsors. So basically, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable interpretation, a reasonable timeline of events for what's transpiring here. And how Mythic ends up after this, boy, I don't think it looks good. That's for sure. I don't think it looks too good right now. Yo, man, with another 100 DOP saying 10 children your wife spoke. It's also an inside joke. I know for a fact when we first met, she said she wanted to have 10 kids. And I said, that's a lot. She denies that ever happened. I remember. You remember when someone says something like that to you. Okay? And then Ren with 5 Canadian bucks, 5 more Canadian bucks saying, it still boils down to, why did they give her 3 different explanations? Exactly. It's not even about proof. It's just the fact that there's different explanations being provided. It's very confusing. Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's right. Now, let me see. I mean, really, what else do we have to talk about with this situation? It's just a mess. I mean, what else do you really say? Trying to see something right here. Hold on, let me hide this. Let me see. I still don't actually remember that, but I did always remember wanting a big family, but I don't remember saying 10 unironically. Oh, believe me, I remember the 10 unironically. Oh, this is kind of what I want to watch. So it's a bit off topic, but I do want to see this, okay? I want to watch this together. I have no idea what the context is, okay? None. But that's really it for me involving the Asmongold Mythic stuff. I think we kind of beat that to death. And in the conclusion of today's stream, I want to react to this right here. The Odd Ones Out. Apparently this is a very big deal. And I don't really know much about this channel, but Diesel Patches here talked about it. And I really don't know what's going on. I'm seeing some stuff on Twitter, but I want to react. You know, I've been yapping for almost 2 hours here. I got to save the windpipes. Got to save the vocal cords. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. So let's get informed. So, you know, get comfy, guys. I'm gonna sit back a little bit. I'm gonna sit back and let's watch a little coverage of the Odd Ones Out. Let's see what happened.
Thanks for watching this video. Big thanks to everyone who worked on this video and made it possible. They're amazing.
So, about a month ago, it was revealed that famous YouTuber animator, Odd Ones Out, whose real name is James, fired his entire animation team without, allegedly, a proper notice. But suddenly this news was revived again, along with multiple animators that work for James, revealing their situation after being let go. Anyways, the initial post that revealed the mass firing came from one of the animators on James's team.
So the entire Odd Ones Out team has been fired, which means my main source of income is gone. Okay. You know, there's times where I sit here and think, guys, isn't it so great to not have a team? isn't it great to not have a team and like a bunch of people working for you and having to worry about keeping them happy and them relying on you and your employment of them to keep the lights on? TLDR, Twitter being Twitter. Well, I mean, that's every scenario, right?
A user named Anti-Darkheart. Edgy. So Anti-Darkheart worked on the backgrounds team for many of James's videos, and he revealed in this Discord post, so the entire Odd Ones Out team has been fired, which means my main source of income is gone. As y'all know, it's about to be the dreaded tax season, and we're about to move, so I'll be doing comms full time. From here on out, I'd like to ask a big favor from y'all to please boost my lovely coworkers' commissions to help support them as well. 2026 has started off as a rather perplexing year, but I believe we'll pull through. Fingers crossed.
Well, that happens. Life happens. There's no guarantees, especially when, from what I can already understand, is freelance work. Right? Like, yeah, that happens. Wow, I love the Roach t-shirt. You like it? We're standing up for the Roach man today. The Asmon Roach.
However, the message that follows afterwards is, it's kind of ridiculous. Hey, y'all, don't be taking screenshots of this and posting it online. It's not anyone's business.
Sure.
Whoever posted it on Reddit, please delete it. Yes. Hey, guys, I know I just claimed a popular YouTuber fired me and his entire staff, and I know this sounds like juicy drama, but please don't make this public. You can't just drop something like this while adding your entire Discord server and then expect people to keep this info private. That doesn't make...
Someone exposed this. I literally cannot believe it. I can't believe it.
Make any fucking sense. So the same person decided to private their Twitter account, probably to wait until the storm calms down. Anyways,
wait. Did they also black out their accounts? They got the edgy name and the edgy, like, emo, I'm sad profile? What are we doing? This is blue sky behavior right here. Middle finger to Twitter. Okay, that's their location. So edgy.
Their Twitter account, probably to wait until the storm calms down. Anyways, here's my take. If James did in fact fire over 20 people without a proper notice, then yeah, that is a pretty dick move. Am I gonna pretend I'm deeply invested in the livelihoods of these animators?
No.
But I can still recognize asshole behavior when I see it. Obviously, just firing someone or even a whole staff of people doesn't make you inherently a terrible person. That's part of the working world. If a business doesn't need you for some reason, then that's that. It's his business, and if he has other plans moving forward or can't afford his team anymore, then he shouldn't be forced to keep them so they can...
No, he should be forced to keep them. He should be forced to go bankrupt, and he should be forced to pay reparations to any third party who is upset about this situation on Twitter and on Blue Sky. In fact, if you're upset about this on Blue Sky, you should get basically time and a half, you know? You should get hazard pay. You should be paid double what Twitter users are being paid because clearly you are extra mentally ill. So your mental anguish regarding this entire debacle deserves you more compensation, and Odds One Out should be the one who pays you directly while also keeping everyone on the staff
can keep their jobs. That said, if James actually did fire 20 people he's worked with for years without a proper notice, then that is different, especially when these animators are relying on these jobs as their main source of income. The proper way is to give workers time to find other opportunities, knowing they'll be out of a job. I've seen way too many people online ignoring this distinction, like letting people go is the exact same as letting people go without any sort of warning. You also have people just being straight up dishonest. James should have given his employees some sort of notice before this happened, so he should have fired them sooner. Is that the point you're making? Yes, because as we know, giving someone a notice before termination means firing them on the spot, not giving them time to prepare for other sources of income. Good one. Before I give more of my take, why don't we go ahead and see what the other animators that were let go have to say about the situation.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a mixed bag. That's for sure. But like, I don't know anything right now. Like I said, I'm watching this for the first time. I guarantee these are just freelancers. who got a long time gig because there was probably a lot of work to be done. Therefore, they got comfortable with their position and expected this money to keep rolling in. And as any form of content creator or someone who does something on the internet for a living in one form or another, never get comfortable with a source of income. I have learned that the hard way. Okay, believe me, things that feel very secure that you'll have forever, they're not. Nothing is guaranteed, not just on the internet, but nothing is guaranteed in life either. So never get too comfy with anything. Okay? That's all there is to say about that. Also, are you switching over from Twitch to YouTube? YouTube's going to be the main place to stream. I'm still going to stream a little bit on Twitch here and there for some stuff. I owe some things on Twitch, or Twitch streams, I should say. But yeah, YouTube's going to be the main hub for now. So that's why we want to have a membership. It's here. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
An animator on James's assets team, named Loveless Kia, noted a month ago, when the animators were let go, "Yesterday I lost my job. It was very abrupt. I was the breadwinner of my household and paid most of the bills. With this income, I no longer have. I'll be pivoting to commissions immediately, more proper with more typical options and such." And when the news of James allegedly letting people go without any sort of notice came back to light, she offered more insight. "Yes, this was my job with the odd ones out, since this is pretty public knowledge now. Yes, this was my primary income. I worked 30 to 35 hours weekly for the channel, so the sudden layoff was pretty devastating to say."
Dude, that budget has to be absolutely insane. It was a 20-member team, and some of them were working 30 to 35 hours a week for the channel. There's no way this is worth all of it. There's no way. It's like running a studio. Man, I've never been so happy to be independent. Never been so happy.
Say the least. I am very open for consistent illustration or asset work. David Toons, who was part of the 2D animation team, stated, "So yes, I was part of the Odd Ones Out retiring team, but I am doing just fine. I still have plenty of animation jobs under my wing, and I ask you support all the other artists and animators on James's team. Retweet their portfolios, demo reels, commission pages, etc." Viscuvania, who was part of the assets team, claimed, "I am getting a lot of questions about the odds out situation. Please understand that I am just as lost as you guys are with why exactly he dropped the entire team on a whim. We were left with little to nothing to go off of. We had no idea this would happen. We were not given any heads up about his decision, and neither was anything alluding towards it. We don't know what's up, and I'd really appreciate it if you do not direct the blame on the team for any of James's decisions." And now, based on the wordage and phrasing from both of these animators, along with Jess, they're all claiming, or at least implying, James let them go without much notice.
Yeah, they're making it seem like they were just they had the rug ripped out from underneath them. They had no preparation, that they expected a consistent form of employment and that their livelihoods depended on this. And suddenly, one day, out of the blue, completely out of left field, they were all ripped away from this. They were fired by the man himself, and that was it. And also, thank you, Real Spiral Brawl Stars, for the membership. Welcome in, Reveling. You are now a Reveling. See? When you tell people to become a member, they become members. They become a member. There we go. I got the wink. There we go. Yo, and Bobby, thank you for the 2. Saying thank you for your donation. Thank you for your donation. Read it right back to you. Let's continue.
And are still just as unsure towards why they're out of a job as everyone else. Anti-Darkheart and David Toons both made it clear they will not be answering any more questions about the matter, which again kind of indicates they're just as much in the dark as everyone else. And David Toons even went as far as letting everyone know he's not under some sort of non-disclosure agreement that would prevent him from revealing what happened. He genuinely just doesn't know. It seems like he doesn't want to drag James's name through the mud any more so than necessary. And many of the animators seem to not have any ill will towards James, James despite claiming they were let go out of a whim. For the record, I do not condone any kind of harassment or hate sent James's way. It is what it is. What is worth mentioning though is that these animators could all be freelance workers and not full-time employees within James's business, meaning the freelance animators were just hired for independent work, such as YouTube videos.
Correct.
What I'm trying to say is that this could be a situation where these animators weren't necessarily fired, but were more so told they wouldn't be rehired for any more future projects.
Yeah, basically they're just not getting another opportunity. They're not getting more commissioned work. That's what it is. These are just commissions. These are temporary commissions. These are not employees of James. They're just freelancers. It's just like when I work with certain sponsors, like there were some sponsors I worked with on a routine basis for like 2 years consistently, just like over and over again on a consistent loop. And then one day they just stopped working or they stopped giving opportunities. There wasn't any reason for it. It just, I guess, wasn't in their budget anymore. And it's like, okay, sucks, but it is what it is. Like nothing's guaranteed. Like I was just basically an independent contractor doing some work for them. That's all there was to it. Yo, and Necro, by the way, let's see here. The 2-time right here. First of all, becoming a Revling, Necro. Welcome in. And then gifting a membership. Absolute Giga Chad move right there. Becoming a Revling, becoming a member, and then gifting out a membership. Absolutely insane. You're saying there's 30,000 plus a week for employees? Again, they're basically just running a small studio at that point. That's too much, man. That's too much.
It sounds like semantics bullshit, but only having a set contract for certain projects and not being hired back for a new contract is different from being fired as a full-time employee without a notice.
Correct.
With that set contract, there is a date where you know you could possibly lose your job. There is already an understanding that there's a chance you might not be rehired. Another contract isn't necessarily guaranteed for freelance workers, while being a full-time employee is considered more secure. That said, I don't know for sure if these animators were full-time employees under James or freelance workers. I would say most likely the latter, based on the direction some of these animators are going after being let go. And regardless, many of these animators, like Anti-Darkheart, who made the Discord post, have been working for James for over 4 years. Even a lead animator that worked on 54 of James's videos was given the boot. So even if the animation team was made up of entirely freelance work, getting booted out of nowhere after that long of service for the same business is kind of bullshit, because the expectations for a new contract are a bit different. As far as why James let his animators go, that's his business. Some believe it's because he can't afford an animation team that large due to his viewership and overall popularity dropping. Obviously, he's still garnering a large viewership, but animation is very costly, especially the quality he produces.
I'm just curious here. Let me look this up. Let's see here. I wish I was actually typing in the thing. Oh, jeez Louise, dude. Hold on. I am such a boomer, guys. It's actually embarrassing. I just genuinely... How do they afford anything? Like, I get it, guys. Like, getting like 2.5 million views on this video, 4.5 million, 5 million, 7.6 million. But this is every couple of months, right? Like, they're only posting every couple of months. And they're longer animations, but there's no way you can sustain such a crazy budget. There's no way. Like, of course, they're going to have to let people go. And in terms of, like, viewership being down, I mean, it seems pretty consistent. I don't know. Going back, like, 4 years, I mean, they're getting, like, 20 plus, 20, 30 million, 37 million, 46 million, 90 million, 67 million, 75 million, 51 million, 91 million, 22 million, 103 million. Okay. I see what happened here. They're just not getting the same. So obviously they had to cut back on their budget. There's no way. There's literally no way they could sustain that sort of a budget right there. That's nuts. Yo, and Real Spiral Brawl Stars with $2 saying, "You're the first VTuber I watch for common sense guidance." That is truly an honor. I'm glad I can be a VTuber who's a source of common sense. And Panthra gifting out a membership as well. And it went to Sleep. Yo, congrats, Sleep. Thank you guys for gifting out some memberships. Very based behavior. But let's keep going with this.
Others are claiming maybe James is just retiring. However, there are others speculating James is leaning towards the AI route because it's not only more cost efficient, but also much easier to produce a larger quantity of videos. And if that's the case, I can't really see James's career lasting much longer after that. In conclusion, this is far from the worst thing I've ever talked about on my channel. Again, if James did fire people without giving them a heads up, dick move. But I think the reason this is bigger news for many is because James likes to portray himself as a wholesome chungus who's such a swell guy. Hey, look everyone, it's the nice guy, the wholesome chungus. Look at that quirky chungus over there. I just want to lick him. I don't necessarily think this exposes James as a terrible person or anything, but it is pretty negligent to tell people they're out of a job and not provide them time to seek out other opportunities prior to letting them go. Could be.
Yeah, I think it's a little different because we are talking about what seems like freelance work here, right? But if these people were getting freelance work over and over again for like 4 years, like especially in like a very interpersonal, like when I was giving an example of some companies I worked with consistently for a while and then all of a sudden they stopped working with me, not even for a particular reason. It wasn't like I was like personal with them. I wasn't working, 30, 35 hours every week with them, right? It wasn't like that. It was a very corporate sort of interaction. Like very impersonal. So it didn't feel like, dang, they owed me some sort of a heads up. I think in this case, like, yeah, if you were that consistent and put that much work into it, it would have been nice to give a little heads up. But I think it's obvious. Things are just different with YouTube. I don't think channels like this will ever see, 100 million views on a video anymore. And that does matter. You can't have a $30,000 a month budget and that be the results. Negligent and sloppy at best, genuinely malicious at worst. I don't think it's malicious, but it doesn't look great.
Missing context on James's end, but if he really cared, he did have an entire month to clarify his reasoning. And just to clarify myself, no one is really owed an explanation except for the animators, but apparently they haven't even received one yet.
Well, I've been told there is a follow-up. And there is. All right, we'll watch this and then we'll probably call it a stream, but apparently there's some more context here, so let's give it a watch. Yeah, the AI route thing. Dude, you think if there's any community that hates AI more, it's probably anything to do with animation. So if he goes an AI route, it's unbelievably over. It's unbelievably over. 100%. Let's see here. We got multiple. We got a 5 from Benjamin saying, let's do some math. Let's say I have 20 employees paying $40 an hour. How much would I spend if they all work 40 hours a week? Total, any guesses? Well, someone do the quick maths on that, okay? 20 employees, 40 an hour. And they all work 40 hours a week. Someone pull out a calculator. Give me a guess. $32,000. That's actually what I've been hearing. $32,000 a week. Diabolical. Absolutely crazy. That would be devastating. There's no way that is sustainable at all. And we got 5 from Bullseye saying, very odd indeed. James's next video is probably going to fund the team's severance packages, lol. Also, only team that matters. Hashtag Team God, hashtag Christian, hashtag Job 330. Thank you very much for the 5. And yes, that is all that matters at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome, Iron. Thank you very much, dude, for the Giga Reveling membership. Based. All right, we got confirmation. 32,000 a week. That is the price. Okay, let's watch this video, and we'll wrap it up.
So, the biggest and most insane drama of 2026
Biggest ever.
has just officially ended. Many lives were lost during this difficult time, but now it's finally over. I am, of course, referring to the Odd Ones Out controversy.
It wasn't for touching kids, was it?
Oh, goodness, no. Just to give a quick summary of what I'm referring to, a couple of animators who worked for the popular YouTuber Odd Ones Out publicly announced that they and many on James's animation team were let go from their job without any sort of notice. What I gathered from this situation within my first video is that these animators are most likely freelancers that expected to continuously work with James despite freelance work being a job-to-job basis. And secondly, if anyone was actually a full-time employee, and then they should have probably received a notice before being let go. And this was big news for many because James is supposed to be a
wholesome chungus,
nice guy, and the way he supposedly treated his ex-employees.
Guys, look, he's posing with furries. He's at a furry convention, and he's smiling, and he's clean shaven, and he's got nice hair. He's wholesome chungus. He makes the wholesome chungus animations. Like, how could this guy do any wrong? I'm completely confused. Why do you have a bug on your shirt? It's they're Asmon roaches. Thank you. It was our super chat goal for the day that we met.
And look fake. Anyways, after an hour after I uploaded my last video, James sent out a response. So now I get to stretch this.
Hell yeah, that's me with everything we did with Asmongold today. There has been updates already. My video should be live right now. Yeah, that's how it always works. The second you post your video, something new arises that's directly relevant to what you just covered.
This amazing drama into 2 videos. Lucky me. Oh, by the way, I will be using gameplay for this video. Last time I used gameplay as B-roll, and I was bullied mercilessly by my own comment section. So I took a little break from background gameplay, and I have been using pictures instead. I've been training hard the past few weeks and recorded some of my best moments. And hopefully these clips are good enough, or else my feelings will be hurt again. Anyways, I thought we'd go over James's response.
That's like you guys bullying me. Do not bully me with the production value of my streams or my videos. It's the top notch. My budget is actually 33,000 a week. I one-upped James here from Odd Ones Out. Yeah, my budget is 33,000 a week. So all of your support means so much.
It's only fair because now we have his side of the story, and we will also be comparing his perspective with the animators who were let go and point out if there are any possible contradictions. Alright, let's go and take a look. There's been some discussion online about changes to my team, and I want to clear a few things up. We still have an animation team, and the artists working on future projects will continue to be credited in the videos they participate in making. Over the years, I've worked with a lot of really talented freelancers on a project-by-project basis, depending on the needs of the video. So James is claiming that these animators were, in fact, freelancers under his employment, which essentially gives him more grace for the sudden terminations. Freelancers are typically used for individual jobs, and once that's completed, you should never expect—
He's getting bullied for this background footage. Oh my goodness.
That you'll be given another contract. To believe you have a secure job when you're not a full-time employee is foolish, and James shouldn't be blamed for that. And this also coincides with how the fired animators portray themselves. As I said before, being let go as a freelancer is not the same as firing someone without a notice. It just means you're not rehired for a future project. And my team size has always fluctuated. Freelance creative work often ships as projects evolve, and right now I'm working on scaling the team to focus on more condensed roles. Last year, despite having a sizable team, we only released 3 videos, and this made it clear that I needed to seriously rework my production process. And here we have our reasoning. Sorry, AI conspiracy theorists. Maybe one day. As I said in my previous video covering this epic drama, at the end of the day, this is James's business. If he's losing money because of the number of workers he's paying, then the obvious answer is to downsize, especially when the result of having a 20+ staff team is 3 videos in a year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So yes, they were freelancers, but they worked consistently for 30+ hours a week for the course of years in some cases. This wasn't like, you know, the bottom dropped out one day and all of a sudden everything dried up in terms of finances. The video or the channel got demonetized or something and everything's changed. Like, it's been a slow decline. And for the last year, they've made 3 videos. So James and everyone was aware that the ship was kind of sinking. So it would have been kind of nice, not required, but nice to let these people know a little in advance. Like, he had to know this would be pretty big news to the people he's been working so closely with for a long time. Call me Kaya, because I'm shocked. Me too.
This was never a reflection of anyone's talent or the work they did. Many of these people helped build the channel, and I'm grateful for the time, creativity, and rada. I had one-on-one conversations with every artist involved, and had face-to-face conversations with everyone locally. And this was not some cold, insensitive breakup text. Some of the artists I've worked with have been part of the channel for a long time, and because of that, I try to handle these changes in the most respectful way possible. And now, James's description here of what happened paints a different picture compared to what a few artists claimed, such as, I lost my job, it was very abrupt, and we were not given any heads up about his decision, and neither was anything alluding towards it. Now, I guess you could argue whether James met each artist face to face, one-on-one, it still could be seen as abrupt. However, based on how these 2 artists described being fired, I was thinking more of a half-assed message sent to them. What follows next, though, kind of dismantles this idea. The artists were kicked to the curb with nothing. I provided severance packages to all full-time freelancers. That wasn't something I planned on sharing publicly, but since the situation was already brought online, I feel it's important that all the details are understood. This is definitely the most interesting part of the whole response, because, for one, not a single animator...
He's trolling with the background footage, right? He said, I got some good stuff so you guys don't bully me. Classic trolling right here. Let's watch the sequence, guys.
This is definitely the most interesting part of the whole response, because, for one, not a single animator that talked about getting let go ever mentioned receiving a severance package. But it is important to note that James did say he only gave severance to full-time freelancers.
What is a full-time freelancer?
I'm not entirely sure which of the artists fall under that category. Now, personally, I believe severance more than enough makes up for the full-time freelancers that were let go rather abruptly. That is a level of compensation I've never heard for any freelancer, even if they are full-time. Obviously, this is based on whether James is telling the full truth here or not. That would be a very extreme thing to lie about, and something that could be easily debunked, so I can't really see why he would make up giving people...
I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by the background. This is engagement bait at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. Let's just... I can even mute it so we can just appreciate the gameplay. Trolling so hard, man. Is someone doing... Is this footage from Kotaku? This is a Kotaku gameplay set of footage here. This is frying me, dude. Absolutely killing me. And then dying midair, too. Unbelievable. Perfect.
Packages. But as I said, it is interesting not one animator that was vocal about being let go never once mentioned a severance package. But maybe the most vocal animators who were let go weren't considered full-time freelancers. Now that it is confirmed that the animation team is made up of freelancers who work on a project-to-project basis, then James abruptly firing the ones who didn't work full-time is nothing but sound and practical. I mean, think about it. If you're working from project to project and James only figured out he can't keep everyone in between the previous assignment and the next one, then there's no reason to give a notice to you, since as a freelancer, you wouldn't be getting paid anyways. Giving a 2-week notice or something like that while an individual isn't already actively making money doesn't help anyone in the slightest, so it's ultimately pointless. It's been frustrating seeing the situation described online in a way that makes us feel or look hostile, when I tried my best to make sure my artists were taken care of.
Yeah, he's definitely trolling with the background footage for sure. Absolutely. It's top tier engagement bait, I have to say. You know, it's like in my videos. Sometimes when I mispronounce something, I just keep mispronouncing it. That's some background details. That's some insider info, you know, a peek behind the curtain of how we do things. Mispronouncing names and things, it's great for engagement farming content or comments on your videos. It boosts you in the algorithm.
I will say there were definitely people online that overreacted or just took the opportunity to say,
You know, I never really liked that guy.
nothing about this was easy. Managing a large creative team comes with a lot of responsibility, and I tried my best to do it right by the people I worked closely with. I've also told many of them that I'm happy to serve as a reference for future opportunities because they're talented artists. It would be selfish for me to keep these artists on hold with no projects or consistent work coming their way, so I made a tough decision. I want nothing but what's best for my team. I apologize if this felt sudden. I was extremely hesitant to make the decision myself, but again, with no other jobs to offer at the time, this was the best way forward. So, in the end, James admits that he did let go of the artists without much of a notice, but he does claim he gave each of the full-time freelancers he fired a severance package. He offered everyone on the team a reference and credited each artist below his response. As for the part-time freelancers expecting a notice, well, getting let go in between projects is actually the best move on James's part. Not only is James well within his right to fire anyone that's considered too costly for the business, but a notice in between projects doesn't impact the freelancer's current income whatsoever. Now, I guess this is technically...
I really don't like people that air out dirty laundry instead of trying to talk things out in private. Yeah, I mean, this seems like it immediately went from private to public, or really it was never private. The second they were let go, it was made public. And I don't care about the person who made a big Discord ping to the entire server saying, don't post this publicly. That was a public move. So it's been public. And also, yeah, full-time freelance is a very funny concept. That's what they call an oxymoron.
Technically still a he said, she said debacle. Maybe another artist will come out and debunk James, completely own him, leading to the epic war to continue.
But that's it for now, guys. I mean, what do you think? This was literally the biggest nothing burger. Thanks to social media for once again blowing things out of proportion. At worst, like, this guy just should have given some better notice, better communication before pulling the plug on these opportunities. But at the end of the day, we're talking about freelance artists on a channel that clearly can't sustain a $32,000 a week budget. And that's really all there is to say, ladies and gentlemen. That's about it. I'm glad I'm informed now. I can rest easy tonight. I can close out the stream. I can sleep easy tonight knowing everything in the world is okay once again. Now that the odd ones out situation has been made clear to me. I was sweating. I was nervous. But that's really it. I think right now, guys, that's going to do it for today's stream. Yeah, oh, I missed one thing. Cobra with the Giga Revling membership. Thank you very much on that. Didn't want to miss that on the way out. But yeah, I think that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with me today. The new video should be live right now. Make sure to check it out. And I don't know. I like to say I can tell you when the next time I'm going to stream is, but like, who knows? I thought I was going to stream in a couple days, but I stream back-to-back days. Who knows? We'll just play it by ear, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great morning, afternoon, or nights. Bless you. Peace.